em novo mundo e torça.
Amazon rainforest, state of Acre, the land of rubber fields, site of economic and political conflicts, stage of struggles and death of anonymous women and men, the land of Chico Mendes. The history of Acre is connected to the drought in the state of Ceará, northeast of Brazil. By the end of the last century, pushed ahead by misery and famine, attracted by the illusion of a better life, the northeastern migrant penetrates deeply in the Acre forests to gather the milk of fortune, latex. The adventure is dangerous, lonely, and not always a success. In the forest, the migrants form a violent masculine world.
A Seringueiro was married, had a wife and 8 children. He went out and left a servant, and his wife slept with the servant. When he returned, the 4-year-old boy told him, "Dad, Mom slept with Francisco." So he cut his wife's ear off. I treated her. I could have sewn it back on, but I didn't want to. She was sterilized, and after that she was no good anymore.
Women are a forbidden merchandise. For the Seringalista, owner of the rubber field, or Seringal, women meant trouble. Not only a cause for fights, women could jeopardize man's productivity. The presence of women in the Seringal could challenge one of the most important mechanisms of domination. For the Seringueiro to feed, dress, and heal himself and live, he depended totally on what the Seringalista provided. It was virtual slavery. The presence of women in the Seringal only became significant after the crisis of the 20s. The massive production of Malaysian planned rubber fields causes a fall of international rubber prices. Relations between the Seringalista and the Seringueiro change. It becomes impossible to maintain unaltered the savage system of domination. Maintenance must now be assured at the Comunicação, an exploitable area for each individual Seringueiro. Previously a forbidden merchandise, women have become a necessary article on the supply list of the rubber fields. The Seringal world is still a masculine one, but as prices of latex fall, the importance of feminine labor rises. Just as the hidden rubber trees in the forest, women now nourish the rubber fields with their milk, sweat, and work.
He leaves in the morning, you know, very early indeed. I stay at home, take care of the chickens, make the day's meal. Then I leave at about 8 or 9 o'clock. Well, he goes in by one side of the path. I take the other. When we get far in the forest, we meet. But I only cut the bark on the lower part of the tree. He does the cutting on the upper part.
Productivity is low. To collect 1 kilogram of latex, it takes several hours of lonely trekking through the estradas and varações, the paths of the forest. And 1 kilogram of latex is worth the price of a kilogram of cooking oil, bought at the headquarters of the Seringal. At the Comunicação, women are responsible for taking care of the house, which consists of an ample space, including the kitchen and surrounding cleared areas, the nearby rivers, and even the forest itself. By the stove, within and without the home, women take care of the fire, plants, small animals, and the family. Childhood is short in the Seringal. Boys enjoy more freedom and lead a looser life than girls of the same age. But work comes early for these children. For the young girl, work and play are bound together. Helping her mother in daily chores, she soon learns to accept her role in life. Adolescent marriage is common. The dream of the bridal dress doesn't always happen. Like an object or merchandise, the adolescent girl is often stolen by her future companion, as they say in the Seringal. An encounter in the evening near the river seals her destiny. Soon the woman will have a husband and a house to take care of. There will be children, many of them. Access to education and health services is difficult and uncertain. Malaria is a common disease. Women's duties don't have fixed times or places and start early every day. Only when children grow up and start fending for themselves in the world of the Seringal do things get better. Chores can be divided. There is more time for living with the forest. Notwithstanding all the dangers, the jungle brings peace and quiet, so women can establish a relationship with nature. Knowledge from the forest is passed on through generations, from mother to daughter. Nature reveals its secrets to the woman. Leaves, bark, herbs, and lianas cure illnesses, scare away the evil eye, and protect the family. The forest is also a place for hunting and fishing. Game is getting scarcer, but fishing is still a very important source of food. The season for Brazil nut gathering coincides with the season of least production of latex. Women's duties increase. Theirs is the job of breaking open most of the nut fruit. Both latex and Brazil nuts are commercialized by the men, being both export products. Women also collect urucum from a native bush in the forest. It has a striking red seed which is ground by primitive methods. The result is a red-colored powder used as natural food coloring. The Indians use urucum for body painting. Throughout the Amazon region, it is used to give color and flavor to food.
A little bit of coloring in the food, in the beans, and in the chicken also.
From the selection of seeds to planting, from harvesting to the preparation of food, women's hands are present. Plots produce corn, manioc, potatoes, rice. In the backyard, the woman works with the pestle, cares for small animals, which are both food and a source of income. At home, she takes care of her husband, children, keeps track of food supplies, expenditures, and makes sure everyone is well fed. At the Seringal, the woman is wife, housekeeper, mother, and worker. With her silent work, she has created the conditions for men to inhabit the forest. In the Seringal, women are responsible for the livelihood of the family. Her entertainment, so it is said, is hard work. Feminine work in the Seringal has increased as traditional masculine activities are becoming economically less viable. The price of Amazonian rubber is low. Many native rubber fields are in a process of exhaustion. Rubber exploitation, however, intensifies. Yield is low. Relations between the Seringalista and the Seringueiro grow tenser. The exodus is unavoidable.
It's a hard life in the Seringal. My mother would go out and get a tortoise that my father had left by the jungle path. Once she went and couldn't get back. She slept in the jungle with my two small brothers and she was pregnant. She had to stay all night long in the rain, alone in the forest. And we had to fire gunshots to help find her way back home.
The presence of women increases on the labor market, even as a means to reduce costs. In the rubber industry, where raw material suffers a first treatment before being sent to the south of the country, women are said to be more productive and efficient than men.
If he goes to a party on Sunday or something, probably on Monday his production will be very low. Women are different. Their production is invariable from Monday to Saturday. Then you have a regular production on, say, lighter jobs. Now on heavy jobs we have to put men, really.
However, they receive the lowest salaries. They work many hours in unhealthy surroundings and are constantly exposed to work accidents. At the Seringal, the political importance of women grows. In contact with women's associations, they become conscious of their role. For the defense of the forest and the Seringal, they take part in the empathis, making a human barrier with their men and children to stop the progress of tractors and chainsaws. They become a human shield against violence. Interested in quick profits through wood exploitation and the expansion of cattle ranches, powerful landowners promote the devastation of traditional areas of extractivism. They ruin the Seringal, drive out the inhabitants, bring in cattle. To unbridled ambition and profit-making, women oppose their courage and determination. Just like nature, they take a stand for resistance and live. The documentary Rubber Woman is a result of the research project Life and Work of Women in the Seringal, a joint venture between the Cultural Foundation of Acre and the United Nations Fund for the Development of Women, UNIFEM. It took place during July and December of 1990 and revealed a little-known and unrecognized dimension of the Seringal, the feminine presence within an historically masculine-dominated world. The research proposed participation as methodology. Within a qualitative approach, field activities were concentrated at the Triunfo Seringal, a traditional native rubber extraction field of the state of Acre. Technicians from state and non-governmental organizations were trained for working with the Seringal women. Families were visited and interviewed at the colocações within the Seringal. The pictures produced in video were shown immediately to the families, mobilizing and promoting debates. The goals were to improve life conditions through self-valorization of women, their presence and work at the Seringal. At a subsequent meeting, suggestions and proposals were discussed, including their feasibility facing local conditions. As part of the research, a photographic exhibition was shown at the House of the Seringueiro in the Chico Mendes space in Rio Branco. This video was produced with the intention of documenting and revealing this important feminine universe. It is dedicated to all women that struggle and work at the Seringal. To assure the well-being of their families, these women are placing themselves in the defense of the rubber fields and against destruction of the forests.